Hey, are you going to be moving to Clearwater, Florida? If so, then you're going to want to watch this video to help you avoid the top 5 mistakes that people make when they're moving to Clearwater, Florida. Hi everybody, thanks for tuning into my channel, Living in Tampa, where it's my goal to show you everything you need to know about eating, sleeping, playing, and living in the greater Tampa Bay area. If it's your first time to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell so you'll be notified every time that I release a new video. And also, if you have any questions about this video, be sure to drop them down below in the comments section. I do read all of those comments and I'll be sure to respond to you, or of course you can always reach out to me directly. So, lots and lots of people are relocating to the Clearwater area. I mean, with the warm climate and the beautiful beaches, all the entertainment and things to do, it is definitely a top choice among people that are relocating from out of state. Now, also, if you are not aware, there is a huge improvement happening in the downtown Clearwater area. It's called Imagine Clearwater. It is opening this summer. I'm so excited about it. I can't even wait. There's going to be all kinds of concerts there. It's an outdoor amphitheater. It's just a huge gathering place right on the water. It's gorgeous and I am super excited. I'll be doing a video on that when it opens up. But it's definitely something that people are attracted to and waiting for that to open. And if you're going to be living in Clearwater, that's probably a place that you're going to be frequenting because there's going to be so many events happening there. But anyway, let's dive into this. So you are ready to move to Clearwater, but before you pack your bags, let's go over these top 5 mistakes so that you don't find yourself in a bad situation when you do that. The number 1 mistake that people make when they are moving to the Clearwater area is not doing all of their research. When you're making a big move, whether it's across the country, across the state, or even just across town, you definitely want to check out all the different neighborhoods. You want to check out the schools, the job situation, the entertainment situation, which we just discussed a little bit ago. You really want to dive all the way in and make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into. Now, in particular, if you have children, you definitely want to take a long, hard look at the schools. Make sure that you are looking at areas that would work for you with your child being able to attend a school that you're happy with. If you're going to be working when you're moving to Clearwater, you want to be in an area that's going to give you easy access to work and make for a decent commute. And also, if there's certain things that you want to be close to, you just want to make sure that there is a neighborhood in that area that's going to work for you for that. Number 2 mistake that a lot of people make when they are moving to Clearwater is not considering the cost of living. Now, living in a beach town can be pretty expensive, in particular when it comes to insurance. So if you are living in a flood zone in Florida, you're going to have flood insurance. That's pretty expensive these days, so you definitely don't want to leave that factor out of consideration. Also, when you're living closer to the water, there's a lot of other things that can be a little pricier than other areas of town. So be sure that you're looking at the overall cost of living. I mean, gas, groceries, all of that is something you need to look at. Now, Florida overall is pretty much in line with the average cost of living across the United States. But when you get closer to the water in Clearwater, that price definitely does go up. And in particular, like I said, it's going to be because of the insurance. We are having a lot of insurance problems here in Florida right now. Today it is April of 2023. Hopefully there's some insurance reform that is happening, but I will tell you right now, if you are in a flood zone, that flood insurance is not cheap. And if you're looking at condos, that's another thing that is really changing right now because of that condo, that devastating event that happened with a condo in South Florida. The fallout of that, it's actually a really good thing. They are requiring more inspections and more reserves with condos. But if you're looking at condos, the condo fees are going to be a little bit higher than what they were in the past because all of that is being taken into account. So whenever you're doing your research to look at moving to another state, you want to make sure that there's no costs that you're forgetting about. Now also, there is the car insurance. Car insurance in Florida is just really high. It's crazy. I look at what my parents pay up in Washington State and I'm paying double that. And I don't have any accidents on my record. Every discount that you can qualify for, I have, and I'm still paying double what my parents pay in Washington State. So it definitely varies from state to state, and that's something you're going to want to check out before you get here so you don't have any big surprises to your budget. Number 3 mistake that people make is underestimating the traffic. Now, in particular for Clearwater, because it is such a touristy area, when you look at the peak tourist seasons like spring break and summer vacation, the traffic during those times is very, very heavy. And here's the flip side of that. We also have a lot of snowbirds in Clearwater. So really traffic is heavy year round, but I will tell you, if you're trying to go somewhere during spring break, you better plan ahead because the roads are jam-packed, and what can sometimes take you 10 minutes when there's no traffic can take you over an hour. And because if you're moving to Clearwater Beach, because it is over the causeway, there's really only that one way to get to it unless you go a long, long way around, which most people don't want to do. So you are kind of stuck with that one ingress and egress, and that makes for a long commute for a lot of people. Now, North Beach at Clearwater is super, super nice. It's very residential and very quiet. And you would never know that all the touristy things are right down below at Pier 60 with Clearwater Beach being right there. However, you do have to drive through all of that to get to your house. So if you're going to be making that daily commute going to work, that might not be something you want to deal with year round, and it's definitely something you want to take into consideration. The number 4 mistake that people make when moving to the Clearwater area is not researching the neighborhoods. Now, we touched on this a little bit in the first bullet point. However, I want to dive into a little more detail. Because Clearwater is so diverse, like most big cities, there's going to be areas that are really nice, and there's going to be areas that are maybe not exactly what you had in mind. And it's not easy to know the difference if you're not here locally. So what I encourage people to do is do a lot of driving around at all different kinds of days. Make sure that you're really doing your research on this, because you don't want to be taken off guard when you find that perfect neighborhood and then maybe you go back later in the day to find out it's not so perfect. That is something that you can really only experience firsthand. However, during the pandemic, we did have a lot of people that were not able to come and see neighborhoods in person. So what we were doing for people was doing just that, going to the neighborhoods at different times of day, showing them through video tours what it was like so that they could make that informed decision themselves. And that's something I'm definitely happy to help with. It's really hard when you're coming from somewhere else and you don't know the area very well. So it really helps to work with an experienced real estate agent that knows the area. Now, I've lived in Tampa since 2005. I've only lived over in the Pinellas side, since this past year, but I've been visiting Pinellas and selling real estate in Pinellas since 2005 as well. So I'm super familiar with all the different areas and definitely would be happy to lend a helping hand if you're unsure about what neighborhood might be best for you and your family. The number 5 mistake that people make when moving to Clearwater, Florida is not preparing for the hurricanes and the weather. Now, this might seem like something super simple, but it is often overlooked. And I will say that a lot of people that have lived here a long time, because Tampa has been so lucky in the past and we have not been hit by a hurricane in a long, long time. Let me knock on something really quickly. Especially, even if you look at last year, that close call hurricane that we had, we were super lucky. I feel terrible for the people down in Fort Myers. But again, we didn't get hit here. But a lot of people grow kind of complacent. They don't do what they're supposed to do to get ready for these hurricanes. And then when you're left without power, it's a very dire situation. So always make sure that you have a hurricane preparedness kit in your family. You've got all your medicines stocked up. You've got plenty of water and food. And it's really important to have a generator here because you never know when the power is going to go out like that. And it can stay out for a few days. So I do think, spending that money on a generator is super important. And just the weather in general, I think a lot of people don't realize exactly how hot it is here. You come on vacation maybe in the spring months and it's just perfect weather and everyone is enjoying it. And then July hits and I don't think anyone understands exactly how humid it can get unless you experience it in person. So I would say if you're considering moving to Clearwater and you've never been here in like July, August, September, you're definitely want to take that trip and check it out in person, because it is a whole nother level of hot. Other states are hot, but Florida is hot and humid, and it's completely different, and it's very hard to enjoy being outside in the summer months. But you know what? We've got the beach, we've got pools, and as long as you have access to air conditioning and all those fun things that you can do in the water, then Clearwater is definitely a wonderful place to be any time of year. And the rest of the year is absolutely picture perfect. I mean, imagine your life, when you wake up and you can just go for a walk on the beach, just enjoy the sunrises and the sunsets, and the weather being pretty much perfect year-round other than those summer months. But hey, listen, if you're considering moving to Clearwater, Florida, and you need some help with that, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. Whichever method of communication you prefer is fine with me. When it comes to moving to Tampa or Clearwater, I've got your back. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it useful, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.